You're listening to
It doesn't matter what you think.
the Sports Fellows Podcast.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Andres. We are back with episode number 52 of the Sports Fellows Podcast, and today, along with my co-host, Mr. Eric. How you doing, sir?
Doing good. I said my stomach was bugging, kind of, ate right before this, and it's not sitting well. But also, you said this is going on YouTube. I need a haircut so bad, bro. And I'm kind of waiting because I'm going on a trip the second week of August. And I just want to only have to get one haircut in between now and then. So I was kind of trying to wait. I know. I'm trying to save up money, man.
The haircut,
I'm petty right now. Yeah, I'm getting petty right now. But I'm trying to do it only once. So I'm trying to wait, but it's getting long where I'm about to just do it and then get another one right before I go.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comments how much you pay for your haircut with a tip included if you do tip your barber. But nonetheless, today we are here to talk about the Damian Lillard saga. I promise not to be biased. No, I'm not. We're going to talk about baseball, the midseason awards. Sadly, we're at the halfway point, but it's also a good thing because we get closer to playoff baseball, which is like amazing adrenaline rush 24/7, even if your team is not in it. And then we're going to talk about some UFC, and to close, we're going to talk about some Wimbeldon because Sunday, it can get really interesting on both the women's and the men's. We'll see about it. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it. So, Eric, Mr. Damian Lillard. Before we get started with Damian Lillard, what do you think has been the most surprising signing so far of the offseason? Because for me, it's easy.
Ooh, surprising? Oh, you threw a curveball. I was not expecting this. I don't know. What's your?
This is so you guys know. This is so you guys know that this is not rehearsed.
Yeah, no, he does not tell me everything before he do. He always tries to throw me a couple of curveballs.
I think the Russ signing for 2 years and $8 million has to be one of those. You know what I mean?
Because do you think just because it's low money?
No, just because like a lot of people were trying to say, oh, he's not gonna take a pay cut. He's not gonna take a pay cut. He's gonna look for another max contract, and like how hard is it for an athlete? I get it. He's made a lot of billions of gazillions of dollars, whatever you want to call it, fine. But signing a 2-year deal, $8 million, with what he showed since the trade deadline into the playoffs, with only with himself, I thought it was a good deal for the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people are gonna say he's a negative player, yada yada yada. But no, I thought that was surprising to me. I'm very happy Bruce Brown got paid. I didn't expect him to go to the Pacers, but I'm very happy he got paid. Other deals around, I mean, like I said, I'm not a guy to pocket watch. I'm happy whatever guys got paid. I don't know if you saw the thing about JJ Redick, that he was upset that people were critiquing Dylan Brooks and stuff. And then he got his $80 million.
Yeah, I did see it. And he's like, yeah, I liked what he said. I don't think Dylan Brooks is some like phenomenal player where he's gonna do everything, but he's a great defensive player. Anyone who denies that is wrong. He is gonna, and pretty much if he just fixes his shot selection, because he has pretty poor shot selection, if he fixes that, and also he just doesn't kind of be a jackass, to put it lightly, then he's an instant like great player for a team. Granted, is 86 across 4 years a lot? Maybe. But Rockets were in a position where they could just throw money kind of around because we almost had too much money. Like, we have so many young guys we're trying to play, but we also have 60 plus million to spend. Like, at some point you got to do something with it. So I'm not mad at it. I also thought it was great. I was a little surprised it was 4 years. I will say I'm not mad at the per year, but the 4 years surprised me. I thought it was going to be 2 or 3. And then for Fred VanVleet, the fact that it was a 2+1, it being a team option changes everything and makes it a phenomenal deal to me. I don't care about the per year. People, that's what I even said. I was like, saying something about the team option. One guy responded and he was like, you think the years is what people are mad about and not the money? And I'm like, yeah, that's fucking clearly what Rockets fans were mad about. This is before it came out that it was a team option. Not a single Rockets fan really cared that he got paid that much. It was 3 years, not 2. Now that it's 2+1, it's a great deal, and I don't see hardly any Rockets fans complaining. It was just, I hate when people who are looking in from the outside and don't really have knowledge are like, you really think that? Yeah, no fucking shit, because I've been watching this team and I know what this team's situation is. I hate when people try and act smart about that shit. But anyway,
just smart asses in general. I just think it's funny because ridiculous. Like, bro, we all know this new CBA, like everyone is gonna get more money, bro. Like Paul George said it on his podcast, right? So he said, Tyrese, congratulations for your $260 million. My first max was like 5 years, $90 million. We're not talking 30 years ago. It was 10 years ago when he got that max deal with the Pacers. Like every single decade per se. Like the money keeps evolving and evolving. Like we know Luka's next contract, he's gonna make 60 million.
Yeah.
He's gonna make like, let's see, 4 years, 250 maybe, and get 60 million AAV. So like all the people that are like pocket watching, like, oh, he's gonna get 40 million. Like, bro, that money's not gonna. That's gonna be a bargain. I remember when Bam got his max contract, that every single Heat fan was crying, oh, he hasn't done enough, this and that. And now it looks like a bargain compared to like the deals nowadays. Like I said, I'm not pocket watching. I'm just saying, like the Bam got, what year are we in? 23, 3 years ago after the bubble. It's nuts. It's nuts. So like I don't understand the whole fuss and stuff,
and also
it's gotta be Russ for me.
Also, they said Dylan Brooks' deal was on a front-loaded deal, so it's getting cheaper each year. So
just like Jalen Brunson's deal, that was fire.
So in 4 years, it's going to be the cheapest point, and in 4 years, 21 million isn't going to be what 21 million is today. So like, I feel like every year it's changing, and people are kind of ignoring that. Anyway, I think one of the most surprising things to me was Jeremy Grant Blazers. Still, I really just wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I thought he was gonna...
Can I say something? I thought it was funny that he got the extension Friday, and then Saturday Dame put in his trade request.
And then they said that thing. They were like, it was part of our plans regardless of Dame. And I'm like, was it?
No, he was not.
No shot. There's no shot. It was that they're bluffing for sure. And I bet you they want to go back on it.
Speaking of Dame, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm gonna try to be as blunt as possible without trying to sound biased. I'm gonna put this for one camera only, so you guys can listen to me speak, because I feel like when I'm speaking, you guys listen to me more. When it comes to Damian Lillard, everyone is frustrated that he only put one team on his list. How many fucking players, and excuse my language, in the last 20 years have we seen not go to the preferred destination? Because it's not many. You guys are gonna say, oh, Kyrie went to Boston. Oh, James Harden went to Philly. Kyrie went to Dallas, whatever you want to call it. Kevin Durant last year requested a trade in the summer, and he only wanted the Suns and the Heat. He was using the Heat as leverage. We all know this. He went to the Suns. James Harden, when he got traded to Brooklyn, it was either Brooklyn or Philly, and he wanted to go play with Kevin Durant and with Kyrie Irving. He got sent to Brooklyn. James Harden at the trade deadline last year, right? Where did he want to go? What did he tell Joe Tsai? I want to go to Philly because I don't want to screw you guys over. What did the Nets do? They're like, okay, let's bring you to Philly. Paul George, after the OKC lost to the Portland Trailblazers, they got gentlemen swept. What did Paul George and Russ do? Russ said, hey, I want to go to Houston. And Paul George said, I want to go to the Clippers. Even though Paul George was only 2 years in OKC, they still gave him his preferred destination. So why the hell right now is it a problem with the Miami Heat trying to get Damian Lillard, considering the Heat are a fluke, they're in AC, Jimmy Butler stinks, Bam Adebayo is the most overrated player ever, and Spo only won 2 championships because of LeBron James. So why is it a problem now? Now that I'm done ranting, Eric, what are your thoughts on this saga?
I mean, I think I definitely get he's gonna have a preferred team. That's obvious. Like every player always has a preferred 1 or 2 or 3 teams. But like, I don't know, the fact that he was like, I'm not gonna play, I'm not even gonna report to any other team, that was kind of like
but he said the Nets and the Heat, and then he said, I want to go to the Heat. It's just like,
no, and I get it, but I don't know. That's just like, and granted, I feel like my problem with that though is he's done all this like, oh, he loves Portland, he wants to do right by Portland, everything Portland. He's screwing Portland by saying that. He's 100% screwing them because you think the Heat are gonna give near as much, knowing now that they're the only team he's gonna go to? Like they're not gonna give near.
Is that not fire? That's fire.
Nah, I don't know. That's kind of screwing. You can't act like you're all for Portland and then screw them over like that.
But listen, like I understand. Listen, now, people are gonna say this because I'm a Heat fan, but listen, I understand if the Blazers want to do what's best for them. At the same time, why are you gonna trade for a disgruntled star though?
No, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right on that. Like, I do think trading for a star, if a star is already annoyed, frustrated, and everything in a bad situation, and he lists teams he wants to go to, and he doesn't list you, and you still trade for him, knowing he's already frustrated, he's gonna continue to be frustrated. So I mean,
the Jazz traded Mitchell to the Cavs, and a report came out last week or 2 weeks ago, that the Cavs might trade him at the deadline if things aren't going their way. What is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if you're gonna try and build around Darius Garland, I get it because he's a dog, and Evan Mobley, which that could be like one of the best.
I fuck with Garland, yeah.
But I don't know. That's why I thought they would try and do that big 3 with Mobley, Garland, and Mitchell. But I don't know. NBA is in a really interesting place right now because I feel like it's still, granted, the Nuggets are probably still the best team. I think most would agree with that. But it feels fairly open at the top. Like a bunch of teams could compete. And also the bottom has so much good young talent that we're gonna see. Like, I feel like NBA is gonna be really fun next year. Me and you like to joke around and trash the NBA a lot, but like,
listen,
like
man, if we get Damian Lillard, I'm tuned in every fucking time.
Dude, next year is gonna be especially for you. He's already one of your favorite players ever.
Yeah, bro. No, but like that's the thing that I'm saying. But honestly, I'm gonna turn heel and I'm gonna say, like, not that the NBA is gonna be garbage, but in the East, there's only one team I'm worried about, and it's Boston, really, because like the other teams, like, even if we don't get Dame, which we will, but like the only team that I was like scared of was like Boston. I wish the Bucks didn't re-sign Brook Lopez, not gonna lie, but other than that, I mean, no team really scares me in the East. The Sixers are about to trade their second best player. The Bucks, they lost a lot of players. Re-signed Crowder, re-signed Brook, re-signed a couple other people. Who else do we got? The Sixers, like I said, no. The C's are the only team that I'm worried about. The Hawks, can we see the Hawks go for like a top 4 run next year? Maybe 1 year of DeJounte and Trey got them on. See what I'm saying? Like, the East is like, it's not that it's garbage, because those are respectable NBA players, but like, I have my eyes set on Mr. Larry O'Brien. Now the West is gonna be fire, but Eric,
man, the East was better for like 1 year, and now it's already back to being worse.
I think it was a couple, because 21 it was better, 22 it was better, I would say.
So two or 3 years, but like, it's very short-lived that the West is just always more stacked. It's crazy.
Yeah, but in the West right now, I think the 4 contenders are, when the Clippers get James Harden, the Nuggets, the Lakers, and the Suns. I would say those 4 teams. Would you agree?
Dude, I don't know. I agree those 4 contenders, but the Suns are just gonna be such a weird team.
Listen, I'm praying on their downfall, but I gotta be objective for this. So I think
I don't
so
personally
it's fire.
think
Ready?
the deal is all that good.
Me either. I would take Bam Adebayo over him. So you have those 4 teams, right? And then you have Dallas, and you also have Golden State. That's what I was thinking about. Thank you. So you have those 2. That's already 6 coupons. You got the Kings, who were a 3 seed last year. You got the OKC, who barely missed the playoffs. You got the Wolves. Like, if the West is gonna be fun. It's gonna be another down to game 82 type of seeding. Well, we hope. But
Timberwolves, I think Timberwolves are going to be pretty good next year.
Yeah, because Cat had a calf injury, and it was Rudy Gobert's first year with the Wolves. You know,
that's why. Like, okay, so I feel like it might be. What seed were the Thunder last year? 8th?
10,
9th, 10th. I knew there was something around
7, 8, 9, 10. They were the 10 because they won on the road against the Pelicans.
Yeah.
And then they lost to the Wolves. No, wait. I'm sorry. They were hold on. Wolves, Lakers, Pelicans, OKC.
Wait, weren't Clippers? Or no, did they not even?
No, they were in the play-in last year.
The
Lakers beat the Wolves, and the Lakers made the 7th seed. Then the Wolves played OKC, and OKC beat the Pelicans. Yeah, OKC was the 10th seed. Yep.
Okay. I have a feeling this is a hot take for me. I just don't. I think OKC is going to disappoint a little bit next year. I think they played way over their heads last year.
Hold on. Can I raise my hand?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are they going to be did they peak this year?
I don't think they peaked because I do think they have a really good young core. I mean, Jalen Williams, I'm not as high on him as most people, but I do think he's good, obviously.
So the way people talk about Shai, is he going to have another season like he had this year? Because this year he was fantastic. Like,
I think he'll be great again. I'm not worried about him being great. But, like, I worry, and I want to say this. I did have him number 1 in his class, but I worry about Chet Holmgren coming back and staying healthy. I don't know if he'll stay
Summer
healthy.
League is one thing and the NBA is another thing. I agree.
Yeah, and then, like, I don't know. I just think I think that no one would disagree with saying they played over their head last year. Like, they played above expectations. And I think now, naturally, what you would naturally do is raise their expectations again and expect them to do even better because they're a growing team. I don't think they'll meet that raised expectation. I think they'll be about the same as last year, if not. Like, I just don't expect them to get much better from last year. And that might be a hot take. I know everyone's super high on them. I don't know. I don't see it necessarily. And I think Jalen Williams also, I think he was really solid for like solid 1.5 month stretch, but I don't know if he's going to be like, I saw one guy talking, I said something about how I think some Thunder fans are going to be disappointed. Everyone was coming at me and I was like, I don't think he's going to be bad. I just don't think he's going to improve to the level Thunder fans are hoping. And one guy goes, he'll average 21 points next year. I don't think he's averaging 21 points next year, especially with more people coming in that will need the ball. Like, I don't know. I think there's, granted, not every Thunder fan is saying he's going to go average 21, but I feel like they need to temper their expectations a little bit, and maybe I'm hating. Maybe Rockets fans also need to temper our expectations, even though I don't think most of us barely have us making the play-in still.
Well, I asked Christian, and shout out to him. I asked Christian I was like, do you guys see yourself going 500 and making the play-in? And he said no.
No, I don't. I think a year, maybe one. It all depends
on who
how,
Udoka is.
Yeah, how Udoka changed him, because Steven Silas was terrible. I like Steven Silas, but he just wasn't a great coach. And Udoka is a huge improvement, but I'm not sure he's as big. I don't know if Udoka is like a top tier 1 coach like some people say. Like, granted, it was just 1 year at Boston. Like, I don't think we could put too much weight into that.
Joe Mazzulla just pretty much did the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he got replaced.
Joe Mazzulla coached horribly. Like,
he got replaced, and they still did just as well. So I'm like, how much of that was Ime Udoka, and how much of that was just them being a good team? So I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna if Udoka is a top 10 coach, let's set the bar low. If Udoka is a top 10 coach, I think you guys have a chance for the play-in. I would say. Yeah, I would agree, and I'm gonna be. I think if we're expecting Jalen Green to take that third year leap, because in my opinion, I've always thought the third year is where you see the jump, kind of, not the second year. If he takes that third year jump, if Alperen Şengün takes that third year jump, if Jabari Smith looks better than last year, which he should, because last year he wasn't a good NBA player. If Tari Eason continues to be good, we added Van Vliet, we added Dylan Brooks. We should be the 10th or right around the 10th seed. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's a top 10 team. All you have to do is be better than what? 5 teams in the conference. Yeah.
But like you said, the West is stacked, so who knows?
Yeah, but we'll see. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully Damian Lillard ends up in a Miami Heat uniform. Hopefully for his birthday. You know, it's his birthday on Saturday, so hopefully he ends up in a Heat uni sooner than later. But Eric, what was going on in UFC this past weekend?
So it was, in my honest opinion, one of the best cards ever. Like, it is one of the best cards I've ever seen. Granted, I didn't watch UFC back in the UFC 3 days, UFC 4. I didn't really watch it a ton then. But if you go and look at the card, like, even the prelims, like, I think it's set the record for most sub-minute knockouts in UFC history. There was 4 sub-minute knockouts, all within a minute. And that's the most ever. And every fight just felt insane. Like, we had undefeated guys going. Who is it on the Alonzo Menifield? I was hyped for him doing, because I like Menifield. Tatsuro Taira, I forget how to say his name. He's undefeated. He's a dog. He's insane. I think he's gonna keep rising the rankings. Robbie Lawler in his last fight, super hype moment. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better thing. He was the betting underdog. A lot of people didn't think he would win because Nico Price has been kind of looking good lately. Robbie Lawler's old. It was his last fight. He said he hasn't had great training camps, and he came out and won in under a minute. I think it was like 38 seconds. Like, it was just a crazy night with that. And that was all just the prelims. Then you got to the main card. Bo Nickel, one of the most hyped prospects I think the UFC has ever seen. He had 3 fights or something coming into the UFC, 2 fights, and he's already like rising the rankings, it seems. I mean, he won. Everyone thinks he's only a wrestler, but he won by knockout, a crazy knockout too. Granted, his opponent was kind of a not well-known guy because he had to get replaced, but crazy knockout. And he even made a joke that he was talking about how he got over like 250 texts, and Chael Sonnen was his favorite text because it's Chael Sonnen, and Chael Sonnen just replied, "Don't worry, kid, you'll get him next time." After a minute knockout, and he said, "You're right, I'll do better next time." Like, it's just, that's something Chael Sonnen would say. Bo Nickel's a dog. Jalen Turner and Dan Hooker, insane fight. Both were going at it. I thought Dan Hooker was done for after that first round, and then he bounced back, dominated. Crazy fight. Rob Whittaker getting upset. Duplessis is insane. I still think he's a bit overrated. I'm kind of going on tangent, just this is a solo podcast because Andres didn't watch it. But I think Duplessis is still, I'm not as high on him as others, but the fact that he beat Whittaker like that, you have to give him his props. He's going to be getting him and Adesanya, their little face off in the ring. It's going to be a great fight. I don't think there's any shot Adesanya loses that. I can't imagine a scenario where he loses. Pantoja beating Moreno. I've never been the highest on Moreno, but he beat Figgy twice. You know, he's a great champion. Just Pantoja, they talked about his camp was like, you got to fight him now because he's only getting better and better. And even with that philosophy, he still didn't beat him. So if it is really Pantoja's getting better and better, I think he also just has Moreno's number. I just don't see Moreno stepping up and beating him. Maybe someone else in flyweight can, but it's a tough spot right now for flyweight because Pantoja looks really good. And then the championship, everyone was talking about how they were worried about Yair Rodriguez upsetting Volk. I didn't really see it, but everyone was making jokes that Yair has been on steroids because he used to get gassed out in the second round of a 3-round fight, and then his last couple fights he's been going 5 rounds and looked like he could still run a marathon afterwards. So everyone thought he was just juicing, and so a lot of people were nervous. And then Volk came out and absolutely dominated him. He's the best pound for pound fighter in the world. He's insane. He looked like he was almost playing with him at times out in that fight. Like, he just didn't give him a chance sometimes. And I think Volk, yeah, he lost to Islam, but Islam's a lot bigger. Volk kept that fight way closer than anyone thought. I think Volk's got to be the pound for pound best right now. And overall, phenomenal card. So many good fights across the board. Prelims, main card, everything. And 291 has an even better lineup. So UFC's in a really good place right now with a lot of young talent, with Ultimate Fighter going on right now. It's a super exciting time. And then also boxing is having a lot of great things. We're not talking about boxing right now, but they've got some elite fights lined up. Like, I think for combat sports, we're in a really good place right now. But I'll wrap it up with that. Just elite card, super entertaining. One of my favorite ever, if not my favorite ever.
That was a good rant. I like that. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, we're moving on to the third topic. It is time for the MLB Awards. Woo. Eric, you know what? I'll let you choose. Pick an award, any award, and let me know.
All right, let's go MVPs. I know it's kind of weak to start with that, but I feel like it's pretty obvious.
You're an asshole for starting with it because I was gonna say the same thing.
It's pretty easy for both. We know it's Shohei and we know it's Acuna. Like, it has to be. I know that was a spoiler real quick. Just said it quick, but it has to be.
Great segment, guys. That's it. We're turning off the lights. It's over. Yeah.
I mean,
Ronaldo Acuna and Shohei.
Shohei's like the best player ever, bro.
I don't think you even need to explain anything. Like, that's it. Like, moving on to the next one.
It's great.
All right. AL Cy Young.
Okay, I want to go first on this one.
Okay, let's hear it.
Do you know who I'm gonna say?
2. Yeah, it's probably the same as me.
I have Framber Valdez as my Cy Young.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, good.
That was my preseason pick for Cy Young, and I have it in my messages somewhere. So, dude, he has a 3.1 win above replacement right now. Nate, it was close between him and Nate, but Framber has just been disgusting. He's literally been. Sorry, you can continue now.
Oh no, you're good. And he's stepped up crazy too because we have had Luis Garcia, Jose Urquidy, Lance McCullers all go down with injury. Christian Javier is not having the greatest season. He's kind of struggled a bit. Like,
you got Hunter Brown, who's a rookie.
And he's been killing it though. All credit to him. But then our 4th and 5th starters, JP France and Brandon Balak. Like, not great. So Framber has stepped up and been the best pitcher in the AL in my opinion. Like, he's been insane. I don't know. I think it's him. I don't want to be too biased, but the fact that you agree makes me feel a little better about it. Because I think he leads the entire MLB in ERA.
I just think it's funny how, like, what's it called? The awards, like the midseason awards right now, they're really not that hard for me personally because I thought it was like pretty straightforward. You said, Framber has a 2.51 ERA. He has a 2.99 expected fielding, independent pitching. He has 7 wins and 6 losses for those that care about that. He has a 9.4 K per 9, which, like, it's not so good, but it's not like bad either, you know. And his strikeouts have been top tier, but there's been other fantastic pitchers. I'm not gonna lie. There's been Kevin Gausman, there's been Framber, there's been Nate, there's been Sonny Gray out of nowhere. Shane McClanahan until he had that injury. Paulo Lopez has been up there too, but Framber clearly, not gonna lie.
Oh wait, he's NL. We'll get to him when we talk about NL. But yeah, it's been a pretty good season for some top pitchers, and it's kind of cool because while we both think Framber is the Cy Young, it's not a closed race or anything like the MVPs already seem to be. It's still pretty open because there's a lot of guys near the top.
Yeah, NL MVP. NL Cy Young. I think that's pretty obvious.
Oh, do you? I don't know if you'll have the same person I do. Who do you have? Who do you have?
Zach Gallen.
Okay, I do too. Okay, we're good. I didn't know if you would because like his ERA is like a 3 but like
no, it's a 3. I think it's a 3 flat, but his fielding independent pitching is 2.77.
Insane, yeah, and I think he has the best whip in the league, right?
Yeah. So he's been lights out. I think he has
phenomenal.
5 starts of 6 or 7 or more innings without allowing a run this season. He's been phenomenal.
You know what's funny is so many people's preseason pick is a guy who has been ridiculously underwhelming, and that's Sandy. So underwhelming, and I saw people talking about it. It's like I don't know if it was a slider or a changeup or what, but like one specific pitch he has been super poor compared to last year, while all the others seem relatively the same, and it's weighed him down that much. It's kind of crazy to think about how like you could have a great out of 4 pitches, you could be still elite at 3 of them, but if you have one that's even off, it throws off everything.
For elite pitchers, I forgot to mention Garrett Cole, who's been lights out this year. Shout out to Mr. Garrett Cole, because when he's good, oh wow, when he's good, when he's good, the game is good. So shout out to him. NL Rookie of the Year, it's pretty obvious. Corbin Carroll. We don't even need to talk about that. Okay. AL Rookie of the Year. I'm interested to see what you think, because I don't know if you're gonna have the same person that I do.
I have the fellow Texas Ranger Jung.
Me too.
Okay. Yeah. See,
Bro,
that's what I'm
saying.
I was filling out these awards and I was looking through them and I'm like, see, but Andres might have that one. Should I go for a hot take? You can't pick as much as I like him. You can't go with like Luis Arias over him or anything like that, because
you just had to come for him. It couldn't be someone else. It just had to be him. Asshole.
Okay.
But yeah, he's been phenomenal, bro. But like that's what I'm saying. So now, for those of you that do care, leaders in strikeouts in the MLB: Spencer Strider 166, Kevin Gausman 153, Pablo Lopez 138. Blake Snell has been lights out since May something. I don't know what he got into him. 132. Shohei 132. Jesus Luzardo, I'm not gonna say it as a American. Jesus Luzardo 129. Mitch Keller 129. Logan Webb has had a bounce back year. He has a 3.14 ERA, 127. Lance Lynn 127 and Zach Gallen 125. Garrett Cole just missed the cut, as well as Joe Ryan with 124 and 123 respectfully. I do have Josh Jung as well. I mean, his stats have been phenomenal. I think a lot of people thought that Gunnar Henderson was going to be better than him coming into this year. Not going to lie.
He's probably my runner-up, because I don't know who else. Who would be your runner-up? Yeah.
I think Gunnar Henderson too. Yeah.
Granted, I just want to touch on that real quick.
Or Hunter Brown. Hunter Brown could be in that.
Yeah. That Orioles lineup. Like we
were talking about it last episode. Yeah.
Dog, I just can't. It's insane, like how good they are. Also, did you watch or did you keep up with any of the young MLB prospects of the draft or anything, or no, not too much?
Yeah. Of this past draft?
Yeah, the one that just happened. Man, yeah. I was kind of surprised that Tigers went Clark over Wyatt Langford.
I was like, so obviously the first 2 picks, everyone knew who they were gonna be. It was a matter of who was gonna go first, but. This class has a lot of talent, and I'm excited to see them. Dude, the Red Sox made a good pick. The Marlins made a good pick. The Giants made a good pick. The Pirates obviously made a good pick with the number 1 pick. Bro, the young talent in baseball, man. Like, listen, NBA is another phenom because soccer and football, like every single sport. Like, you know what? Let's give flowers to every single sport. Tennis as well, golf as well. Like, the new generation is being birthed in front of our eyes, and it's like so crazy. Phenomenal to witness. Like, Corbin Carroll has been disgusting this year, legitimately. Like, the NBA have so many prospects this year that got drafted compared to previous years. Not gonna lie, last year was a little flanky. Soccer, I mean, you just saw Kylian Mbappe just won the World Cup. Not last World Cup, but you know what I meant. And he was only 19 years old when it happened. Like, there's so much young talent in this sport, man. I get it. It's not the generation of Barry Bonds and the Zinedine Zidans and the Ronaldinhos and the Ronaldos and the Michael Jordan, Reggie Miller, Hakeem, Shaq, but like this new generation of players, man. I know it's a social media era, but it's good for the sports.
Crazy.
When we get to Wimbledon, then we're gonna talk about Carlitos. He's been, bro. I don't even have words for him. But AL Manager of the Year, I think that one could be tricky. But as you were talking about the Orioles, I'm gonna go to Mr. Hyde.
I think you could argue. I'm blanking.
Bruce Bochy.
Yeah, I think you could argue between them, but I don't know. Manager of the year, this might be like a weird take. I've never cared too much about manager of the year in baseball. I don't know why, even though I do think it's very important. Like, I think you could argue in certain sports, a manager is more important than others. I do think it's very important in baseball because it's just like their game management is very important and stuff, but I don't know. It's hard for me to sit there like if someone says someone, I'm not gonna sit there and argue because I think it's a very, very subjective thing. I think MVP is easier to argue against. Rookie of the Year is easier to argue against. Cy Young, but Manager of the Year, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of tough to always argue.
And it's time to finish the podcast talking about some Wimbledon. So Eric, you told me you wanted to get into this beautiful sport. What have you thought about it so far? Because I know you said something. I forgot what you tweeted. Something about tennis. You're like, I'm not watching this. Never mind. Oh, the start times I think it was. And you're like, you know what? I'm not watching this shit. Never mind.
Wait, what did I say? I said,
I don't remember,
because of the rain? It was the rain delay.
Oh, the rain. Yes, the rain.
Bro, it was pissing me off. I was like, what is going on, bro? Every day it was getting pushed back. But no, it's fine now. I'll say Wimbledon has been coming in clutch because work has been slow this week. So like I'll just set up my phone and just kind of put on a match and I'll just be watching it. I'm like, it makes time go by faster. I have decided I'm a what's his name, Holger Rune fan. That's my dude. I like him a lot. I think he might be my favorite player right now.
We gotta talk about Mr. Carlos Alcaraz because
he's insane.
He's playing Medvedev, right? And he's only dropped 2 sets in the whole tournament. He's 49-4 this year. He's won 85% of his sets. So he's won 100 of 120 sets. That's 85% for those of you that like math, like myself. He's won 5 of 6 finals that he's played on 3 different surfaces, and we're halfway through the year.
The question is, though,
is he gonna beat?
Can he beat you know who?
The Joker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. I hope, like, God willing, they play each other on Sunday. That's the match everyone wants to see. I get it, but if Joker could fall before, that'd be nice. No, I'm just playing. No, I'm kidding.
So
no, maybe.
I have a question about how tennis rankings work.
Okay, it's about pointage.
Yeah, so if Djokovic wins and beats him again in a final, he's got to be number 1 after, right?
No, because compared his coefficient compared to last year is not the same as this year. So for example, when you win a major tournament like the Grand Slams, you get 2,000 points, right? The following year you have to defend those 2,000 points, and if not, your pointage goes down. So let me give it to you like this: if I have 4,000 points and I win Wimbledon, I go to 6,000. That's if I didn't qualify for the tournament last year, right? 6,000. So now this year I have to. So
you start with that many points. Like, is that what you mean? And then
no. If you have, I'm just saying 4,000 to say a number, right? Okay. So you need those 2,000. So this year, Djokovic is at 6,000. So he needs to defend those 2,000. If he reaches the final, but he loses 800 points because he didn't win the tournament. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you reach the final, it's 1,200. Semifinals, I think it's like 800. Quarterfinals, I think it's like 650. So whatever position.
Who won Wimbledon last year?
Djokovic.
Oh, so him winning wouldn't change anything?
No.
That's crazy to me.
It's fire though, because like you gotta keep defending your legacy every single year. You know what I mean?
Damn. So does Alcaraz just dominate everything else?
I mean, well,
kind of.
We'll see.
49-4 is crazy.
49-4 is crazy. Yeah, I think. Well, I told you that Roger Federer 1 year he only lost like 4 games and he won like 91 of them. So
insane.
It'll be interesting to see. But on the women's side, it got very interesting with the number 1 losing. I don't want to mispronounce her name.
Yeah,
but
Iga Swiatek. Dude, that made me sad because I like her a lot. She's dope.
She's dope. Yeah, for sure.
But damn, bro, she did not look great, to be honest. It also feels weird. I know it's only like this for the majors, but it's so weird watching a whole men's match and you're like, damn, this is a lot. And then a women's one is only 2 out of 3. It's only 3 sets, so it feels like it goes by so fast.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. Well,
not saying that's a bad thing. It's just kind of crazy.
Yeah. I remember a lot of people didn't like it at first, but like, I don't know, man. It's.
Yeah. I wish the women. When did they change?
No, it's always been like that. Like men's has been best 3 out of 5 for like Grand Slams and stuff, of course, but. We'll see, man. It's gonna be an interesting end of the year, and then obviously it goes like that, and then we got the U.S. Open, which I'm excited for, where Carlitos won last year.
Where is that? Like, I know U.S. obviously, but where?
New York.
New York. That would have been one of my last guesses. Interesting.
What was your first guess?
Like freaking Florida or something.
They have a Miami Open. It's just a Masters 1000. It's called the Masters 1000. So it goes the the Grand Slams, Masters 1000, Masters 750, Masters 500, Masters 250. So like those Masters, people train per se for like the surfaces. So like before the French Open, you have Rome, you have Madrid, you have are those
all clay also?
Also clay to prepare for the French
Open.
So
what is the surface of each one? So France Open is clay.
Australia is hard. French is clay. Wimbledon is grass, and then the US Open is hard court.
What is hard? So I know grass and
clay. So it's like hard court, like literally
like concrete type stuff. Oh, like a normal court, like
like a normal court.
We would plan. Okay.
Yeah, Wimbledon is literally grass, and then French Open is literally clay.
Which one is typically hardest for players to play on? Grass.
I see
them slipping a lot. It's a good
question, but it really depends on the player. Because for example, Nadal won French Open like 13 times, whereas Roger Federer only won French Open once time, right?
Isn't that crazy how certain players play that much better on different surfaces?
Roger
is the thing I'm having to get used to.
Roger is the only player to win three different Grand Slams. 3 different Grand Slams 5 times, and he did the U.S. Open, Wimbledon, and the Australian Open. But Djokovic is the only person to obviously win every tournament 3 times. So,
look, I'm not gonna lie. I know where you stand on this. As a new tennis enjoyer, Djokovic has got to be the GOAT, man.
Well, I mean, he is the GOAT. Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were still on your Federer stuff, and I know
he has the best peak in the sport. Still, I will go to the grave with that opinion. But obviously, the GOAT is Nole. Yeah, you can't.
He's insane, bro. But
he's not better than me. But yeah,
dude, if he wins this one too, did he already win the first 2 majors this year?
It's called the Golden Slam.
When was the last time someone like 4-peated and won all of them?
It's never been done. That was his number 1 thing in 2021, but then he lost to Medvedev. Yeah.
Dude, I hope he does it then.
Hell no, fuck that.
I hope he does it. I don't even like him necessarily like that. It's like he's not my favorite or anything, but that's my new rooting interest for this. I hope he does that.
Yeah, now let's see.
If that happens, would you say that is easily the greatest season ever, like individual season, or no?
I mean, you have to call it spade a spade. What are you gonna do?
All right. Anyway,
a year, but it's still Roger. Yeah.
I saw you were about to do the outro, like we're about to wrap up. I just want to say before you do that, shout out to mostly yours, but our Miami Hurricanes, because I don't know if you saw, they just got Josiah Trader to commit, top player in the nation. He's huge, and his high school teammate Jeremiah Smith posted stuff about them playing when they were young. So imagine Miami could flip Jeremiah. Dog, he's one of the best wide receiver recruits in the last decade. So imagine they get both of them. Crazy.
I understand the summer is fire, but the fall for sports, you got college game day, you got NFL, you got NBA starting, you got the MLB playoffs, you got soccer season starting, football, you got soccer season starting, you got the U.S. Open, you got there's.
Dude, you just can't beat it.
Right, you really can't.
Shout out to
Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes for playing that golf tournament. I mean, seeing that these athletes are like human beings and like they're just like us, like it's fire, man. So shout out to them. Yes, I gave a shout out to Klay Thompson. Crucify me, whatever. But ladies and gentlemen, that has been everything for this episode. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and remember to tune in to Sports Trace on Instagram. I'm dropping weekly, not weekly, but like try to be frequent with that. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel, which has this beautiful outro that you will see shortly.
And catch us on Threads. You know, we both. No, okay, I don't even have a Threads account.
Oh no, don't catch us there. Peace out, everyone.
Later.